Welcome and good morning. We're gonna start. I'm Gemma Hazen. I am, actually, I'm changing my name soon. Really? Yeah, because I'm getting married. Anyway, so I will soon be Gemma Walleman, so get used to that. I would like to welcome you this morning to Big Sky UU. We are gonna start with announcements. If there are any that are not printed in the order of service or didn't go out in email, now is a good time to indicate you would like to share them. And also, since we're trying something new with Joys and Concerns, please remember there is a bowl outside for you to put your Joys and Concerns in. Slight change in protocol. And then if Ken could please come forward for our appreciation of Gail Tronstad, right, Tronstad?
Yes. Good morning. For anyone that might not know, I'm Ken McLean, the treasurer for Big Sky UU. And today I have asked for a minute to give a special recognition to Gail Tronstad, who has been our bookkeeper since about 2018 and has done an excellent job, and unfortunately is retiring for the second time. She had a career until 2018 and then embarked on new adventures with us and with Plymouth doing bookkeeping, which has been a huge support for me and the fellowship. And I know not all of you know Gail, so I'd like to introduce her officially. Gail, would you come up, please? Oh, yes. Yeah, you have gotten notes from her, which is one of the wonderful things she's done for us. Gail's a member of Plymouth Congregational, so we rub elbows occasionally in the coffee room, but I wanted to give Gail an official recognition and introduction in case you don't know her. So if you see her wandering in and out of the coffee room from a Plymouth service, please say hello. She's not going away from the community, she's just leaving us. But we're in capable hands. We have a bookkeeping service that came highly recommended from some of our members, and it's going to work out well, and Gail has done a lot to help in that transition. So Gail, I have a little something of appreciation from the board and from the fellowship. Just thank you again for your service and for all the wonderful things you've done to help me and everyone else.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's really nice to be here, and this has been a gift to me to be able to do the bookkeeping for the fellowship. It's just been a wonderful group of people, and through that process I've learned more about your missions and your commitment to social justice issues, which are so similar to Plymouth, and really admire and respect all that you are doing in the community. And the joys of doing this, I have worked closely with Kelsey as she takes care of the bank deposits and gets that information to me, and works closely with Ken every month on getting reports and all of the documentation. And I just can't say enough about what a wonderful partner Ken has been in doing all of this. He's always helpful, thoughtful, right on top of it, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I thank all of you for that. Thank you.
As you are welcome here. Visitor, friend, or longtime member, you are welcome here. With little children, or your partner, or alone, we joyfully welcome you here. You are welcome here as believer or doubter, as joiner or loner. You are welcome here. Feeling a part of us or not, full of energy or not, seeking a vision or a rest, you are welcome to join us as you are. We acknowledge that we are in the Aboriginal territories of the Salish, Nez Perce, Blackfeet, and Anishinaabe people who shared the Helena Valley as hunting grounds. The indigenous story of the Helena Valley began long before the arrival of Europeans. We honor those who walked here before us. We honor the path that they have shown us in caring for this place for generations to come. We strive for justice and fair relations with their descendants. And if Marian could come forward to light the chalice as we all read together from our... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes, well, no one raised their hand, so.
I just want to announce that on January 22nd, there will be a presentation by the American Civil Liberties Union on the rights and responsibilities and protections of individuals who want to protest in our country, and that, of course, has even become much more critical than it was when we scheduled this. So January 22nd at the Public Library, 6 o'clock.
Thanks, Janice. Did I miss anybody else? Sorry. All right, now we will read together from the order of service our chalice lighting. May the light of this chalice give light and warmth to our community when we are joyful and when we despair, and may we feel the warmth spread from our circle to wider and wider circles until all know they belong to the one circle of life. And now if you would please rise as you're willing and able to sing from our Singing the Living Tradition hymnal number 86. Ooh, and we get Mackenzie too. Blessed Spirit of Life. Oh, I mean, I did not need one. Play the whole thing. Very nice. I don't know if we've ever sung. I've never sung that one before. It was lovely. All right, so now I'm going to read our joys and concerns. Apologies in advance. Handwriting can be difficult. I did not pre-read them. Okay. All right. Sarah Bewley says, please send healing thoughts. My friend John Cassidy crashed his paraglider almost 2 weeks ago and is home healing now with 3 broken vertebrae. Oh my. Also, 2 dear friends were killed in a car accident last Sunday and 2 were injured. Many broken hearts. And an anonymous writer says that I am concerned about the federal executive and congressional branches are eliminating access to the federal, nurses' access to federal loan program to obtain master's degrees. We need this level of education. Yes, thank you. My heart is aching today for the murder of Renee Good and the tragedies that have struck the families of 2 of my friends. So sad and angry. And may we hold in our hearts all those joys and concerns left unspoken. And now, if Mary Ann could come forward to read our Story for All Ages. Oh, I'm gonna go do the slides. Do you want this mic? I think this one's good. Is Harrison's coming, not coming? Are you gonna come up, Harrison? As you're willing and able.
Yeah, come on up. We'll look at the book together. Oh, cool. Come on, guys. Now, do you want to sit on either side of me so you can see pictures, or? Okay. Let's see. So, is Mike picking up anything? It will? Thank you very much. I will try and direct my voice. Okay. It was almost Bee's birthday. There are just 2 days to go, and she was very excited. The whole family was coming to Bee's party. Of course, Mom and Dad and Archie would be there, but so would Grandma, Grandpa, and all her cousins. Wow, that's a lot of people for your birthday. Bee couldn't stop thinking about it. Everything was going to be perfect. The next day, the skies were cold, gray and heavy. Bee ran into the garden as a single snowflake fell. Right there, all right. That would be kind of nice. It's pretty. At first, it was all exciting. Snow for her birthday. But then it kept snowing and snowing and snowing until, everything was white. The snow was so deep that the mail carrier couldn't deliver any of Bee's cards or presents. And her dad couldn't get any of the party food. Whoa, this is a lot of snow. And this was very disappointing, but Bee took a big, deep breath. At least Grandma and Grandpa and all her cousins would be there tomorrow. You think? Yeah. The next day, Bee woke up early. Finally, it was her birthday. You get excited on your birthday? Do you get excited on your birthday? Yeah. I don't, but that's okay. I had a hard time. 3 hours later, nobody had arrived for the party. I'm sorry, sweetheart, said Mom. They can't make it. The truth is, all the roads are blocked by snow. Bee stood there a moment. She tried so hard not to feel disappointed. But you would, wouldn't you? Then suddenly everything shattered. This wasn't how her birthday was meant to be. Excuse me a second. Look at the page, all these shattering marks. Happy birthday, Bee, said Mom, and she passed her a present. But Bee could barely even look at it. Not even a phone call from Grandpa could cheer her up. Oh my goodness. A tear rolled down her cheek. Everything felt completely broken. Even the page looks broken. Hey, come on, Bee, said Archie. Let's go birthday sledding. That'll be fun. Bee didn't want to, but Archie helped her put on her favorite coat, and together they crunched outside into the snow. Archie swung Bee up onto his back, and a few of the thinner cracks fell away. Okay, getting a little better now. Snowflakes sparkled all around them as they whooshed down the hill. Bee smiled. This was not how she imagined her birthday. It was still a lot of fun. And a few more cracks disappeared. And there's a little color on the page. Okay. By the time they got home, a fire had been lit in the house and it felt warm, with homemade decorations and candles everywhere. Bee's day had started out badly, but that didn't mean it wouldn't end well. When Dad carried in the most amazing cake, all the cracks vanished completely. It looked exactly how she managed it. Yeah, still some cracks when she came in. But are there any cracks over here? No, when she sees that cake, she's okay. Whoops. Oh, and then Dad tripped over the dog, and the cake soared through the air. Oh no! Gussie. It landed upside down with a splat. For a long time, Bee just stared at it. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, there is. That's looking at the bright side.
Because there was like as many lit candles as those.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. The candles.
I bet there's a few more buried under it.
Probably. And then there's the glass in the plate too.
Yeah.
We'll see how they handle that. Okay. Then she grinned and took a huge spoonful of cake mess. Straight from the table. Okay. And Archie did the same thing, then Mom and Dad, then suddenly they were all laughing. Because birthday cake is always delicious, no matter how it looks, right? Yeah. Even if it doesn't quite look how you expected. Huh.
Doing something to the dog.
Yeah, even though he tripped up Dad, right? Okay. Yeah, okay. The end. Thank you, guys. Sing out. As you journey, may you go, peace along with you, peace along with you, learn and grow, learn and grow.
All right. Now is the time for our offering. Thank you for your gifts this day and all the gifts of action that make this community possible. If you're visiting, please remain our guest. Your presence is your gift to us. And afterwards, we'll sing Thank You for Your Loving Hands on page 25 of the Open Your Heart Songbook. There's Karen. Karen is going to do a reading for us, Fault Line. Try to get the mic in a good spot for you, Karen.
This is Fault Line by Robert R. Walsh, coming from Noisy Stones. Did you ever think there might be a fault line passing underneath your living room? A place in which your life is lived in meeting and in separating, wondering and telling, unaware that just beneath you is the unseen seam of great plates that strain through time. And that your life, already spilling over the brim, could be invaded, sent off in a new direction, turned aside by forces you were warned about but not prepared for. Shelves could be spilled out. The level floor set at an angle in some seconds shaking. You would have to take your losses, do whatever must be done next. When the great plates slip and the earth shivers and the flaw is seen, to lie in what you trusted most, took not to more solidity, or look not to more solidity, to weighty slabs of concrete poured, or strength of cantilevered beam, to save this fractured order. Trust more the tensile strands of love that bend and stretch to hold you in the web of life that's often torn but always healing. There's your strength. The shifting plates, the restive earth, your room, your precious life, they all proceed from love, the ground on which we walk together.
Thank you, Karen. And now if you would please rise as you're willing and able to sing Together We on page 16 of the Open Your Heart songbook.
Good thing I have a capo. I mean, I could transpose it in my head, but this is easier. Here I am standing beside you. We're not exactly strangers. Here I am standing beside you. I hardly know your name. And you reach out your hand. I put my hand in yours, and together
Lindsay. Now I have a reading for you called Contact by Gordon B. McKeeman from To Meet the Asking Years. I stretch forth my hand, knowing not what I shall touch, a tender spot, an open wound, warmth, pulsing life, fragile blossoms, a rock, ice. I am tentative, trembling, wishing to avoid hurt, wanting to link my life with life. Lonely, I desire companions. Naked, I long for defenders. Lost, I want to find, to be found. Will I touch strangers or enemies or nothing? My hand is withdrawn, but still it touches. My vulnerable skin, my furrowed brow, my empty pocket, my full heart. Do others reach, tremble, withdraw? Do they desire, long, seek? Are they lonely, fearful, lost? Will they grasp a tentative, trembling hand? I stretch forth my hand, knowing not what I shall touch, but hoping.
I'm going to attempt to stand, and if I need to, I will sit. My blood pressure is doing some funny things, so. Oh, good. Is that better? So I'm Catherine Tricano, and the two readings that were given today came from this book that was written by two UU ministers, Julianne Lepp and Florence Caplow, and it's called Tend to Your Spirit. So that's where those came from. I just thought they were perfect. Okay, better. So, good morning. I chose to speak on suffering today because the questions around suffering have surfaced again and again in my conversations with clients over the past year. I'm a mental health therapist. What you'll hear today is shaped by those conversations, by people sitting across from me, staring at the floor or the ceiling, trying to make sense of something that has knocked the breath out of them. We search for meaning together, not as an abstract idea, but as a lifeline. Before I go any further, I want to pause and ask you something. I invite you to answer quietly just to yourself. How are you doing? I'm not asking for a polite answer, not the automatic one, the I'm fine. I mean the answer you give when no one is listening, the answer you carry inside. How are you really doing? If I had to guess, I would say many of us are carrying more than we let on, myself included. Some of us are carrying grief that still surprises us with its weight, grief that shows up at the grocery store, in the car, or in the middle of the night. Some are carrying illness, our own or someone we love, and the quiet exhaustion that comes with never quite knowing what tomorrow will bring. Some of us are carrying disappointment about relationships that ended, dreams that didn't happen, or the person we once thought we'd become, but didn't. Some of us were blindsided by life in ways we never saw coming, and nothing feels stable anymore. And some of us are simply worn down by the daily grind, by a world that feels heavy and relentless. Often the hardest part isn't just the suffering itself, it's what shows up around it. Because when pain enters the room, explanations tend to follow close behind. Explanations. Most of us have heard them. Some of us have said them because we didn't know what else to do. And some of us heard them so often that we eventually walked away from faith altogether, maybe even flipping God the middle finger on our way out. You know the lines. God never gives you more than you can handle. This will make you stronger. Everything happens for a reason. If you had just done more. They put this on themselves. And then there are the at least and the if only statements. I could spend the entire time here having you guys just throw ones out, right? At least it wasn't worse. If only I could have been there. And after loss, I love these. God needed another angel. They're in a better place. Most of these are spoken with good intentions. They come from a desire to soothe, to fix, to restore some sense of order when the world feels chaotic. But here's the uncomfortable truth. More often than not, these explanations comfort the speaker, not the person who's suffering. They minimize pain. They quietly assign blame. They shut down grief. They suggest the world is fair, that suffering is purposeful, and that pain can be avoided if you live correctly. And this is where explanations can slip into something dangerous, where theology turns into blame and comfort turns into cruelty. To understand suffering without blaming ourselves or others, it helps to listen to people who endure the unimaginable and still spoke with humility about meaning. And one of those voices is Viktor Frankl. Viktor was an Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, best known for his book, Man's Search for Meaning. He was imprisoned for years in Nazi concentration camps, where he witnessed unspeakable brutality. He watched people starve. He watched people die. He lost his parents, his brother, and his pregnant wife. Frankl never claimed that this suffering was necessary. He never said it happened for a reason. He never framed pain as a spiritual accomplishment. What he offered was quieter and braver. He noticed that even in the most brutal conditions imaginable, some people found ways to remain inwardly free. Not cheerful, not optimistic, but still tethered to something that mattered. He tells stories of prisoners sharing their last piece of bread, of people offering comfort when they themselves were near death, of how memory, of love, of beauty, of purpose, sometimes kept someone alive for just one more day. In one moment, standing in a freezing line at dawn, his body exhausted and his hope nearly gone, Frankl imagined his wife's face. He didn't know if she was alive or dead, but remembering her love stirred something in him. Not happiness, not relief, but meaning. For Frankl, meaning wasn't an explanation, it was a response. And that distinction matters. There was a reason this happened weighs suffering down with obligation. I still get to choose how I respond restores dignity. One blames the person who collapses. The other honors their humanity. So let's talk about one phrase in particular. This will make you stronger. I think there's even a song that says that. Well, you know, sometimes, maybe years later, that might be true. But said too soon, it can feel like a demand. It implies that growth is required, that strength is the point, that if you don't emerge wiser or kinder or more resilient, you somehow failed. Frankl never said suffering should make us stronger. He simply observed that humans sometimes create meaning even when strength is nowhere to be found. And that difference is everything. Another voice who speaks powerfully from lived heartbreak, not theory, is Rabbi Harold Kushner. Rabbi Kushner was a Jewish rabbi and pastoral counselor, best known for his book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. He did not write as a distant theologian, but as a parent whose own life had been shattered. Kushner wrote the book after his young son died from a rare degenerative disease. His theology did not come from abstract debate or doctrine. It came from burial. After his son died, Kushner was surrounded by explanations meant to protect God. This was God's will. God needed him more than you did. There must be a lesson here. But Kushner realized that any theology that requires a child's death in order to make sense is not a theology worth defending. Let me repeat that. Any theology that requires a child's death in order to make sense is not a theology worth defending. He came to believe that God does not cause suffering to teach lessons. He radically accepted randomness exists, biology exists, cruelty exists. And faith at its best does not explain pain, it accompanies it. Kushner writes movingly about the people who truly helped him, not the ones with answers, but the ones who showed up with food, who sat quietly with him, who let grief be what it was. He came to understand that the question, why did this happen, often leads nowhere helpful. But the question, who will be with me now, can change everything. Who will be with me now? Kushner teaches us to let go of explanations that wound. The next voice invites us to examine why we cling to explanations in the first place. Richard Rohr is a Franciscan priest, teacher, and writer who has spent decades exploring the intersection of Christian spirituality, psychology, and social justice. In his book, Job and the Mystery of Suffering, Rohr reflects on the biblical story of Job as a way of understanding how humans respond to pain and how we often respond badly. In this story, Job's friends cannot tolerate his suffering without assigning a reason. You must have done something wrong. This is meant to teach you something. If you had more faith. Job rejects them all. And in the end, God does not side with the friends either. Instead, God points to the vastness of creation, its beauty, its complexity, its untamable mystery. A reminder that we are not the managers of the universe, no matter how much we ache for that kind of power. The illusion of control is comforting because it spares us from facing our limits. But the truth remains. Sometimes there is no fix, no tidy answer. Only the invitation to live honestly within our humanity. Rohr reminds us how deeply humans crave explanation because the ego demands answers. He points out that explanations is often a way to avoid vulnerability. If we can explain suffering, we don't have to feel it. We don't have to do anything about it. These explanations allow us to believe that tragedy won't happen to us, that we are protected as long as we live correctly. But that belief has a cost. It turns suffering into failure. It turns pain into blame. Rohr reminds us that the soul can live with mystery. He thus invites us to something braver, to live with mystery, not because suffering is good, but because it is real. And this allows room for a shared humanity that says, I don't know why, but I'm here for you. I don't know why, but I'm here for you. Rohr helps us loosen our grip on explanation. The next voice invites us to stay present with what we feel once those explanations fall away. Pema Chodron is a Tibetan Buddhist nun and teacher whose work has resonated deeply with people far beyond Buddhist communities. Many encounter her through her book, When Things Fall Apart. written not as an abstract philosophy, but as a guidance for living through heartbreak, fear, and uncertainty. She names something we all know too well, our instinct to run from pain. We try to fix it, explain it, numb it, anything to avoid feeling it. She calls this scratching the itch. It gives us a moment of relief, but also pulls us away from what is real. Children invites us to try something different. She says that instead of tightening up around our discomfort, instead of rushing to repair what feels broken, we can turn toward our pain with gentleness. We can stay present to what is happening inside us without judgment, without hurry. She writes, "We think the point is to pass the test to overcome the problem. But the truth is that things don't really get solved. They come together and they fall apart. And in that falling apart, she says, stay. Stay with yourself. Stay with the ache. Not because suffering is noble, but because running from it only deepens our fear. Chaudron teaches that suffering reveals a soft spot, the tender, unguarded place within us we work so hard to protect. But that softness is not our weakness. It is the birthplace of compassion. When life cracks us open, we often find that we feel more deeply, not less. And our vulnerability becomes a bridge to others, not a barrier. She also reminds us of the truth we resist most. Life is groundless, always shifting, always uncertain. We cling to the belief that if we get everything right, we can avoid tragedy. But uncertainty is not a personal failure. It is simply part of being human. Chaudron helps us learn how to stay present with ourselves. And our Unitarian Universal principles call us to stay present with one another. Our principles offer a compassionate way to meet suffering without explaining it away. They do not ask us to justify pain, assign blame, or rush toward meaning. Instead, they guide us in how to be with one another when life hurts, forming an ethic of presence, of showing up with care, humanity, and shared responsibility. Our first principle insists that suffering never erases worth. No matter how long the grief lasts, no matter how altered a life becomes. Dignity is not something we earn by coping well. It is not lost when we fall apart. It is inherent, and suffering does not revoke it. The second principle reminds us that compassion is not passive. Some suffering is intimate and private. Much of it is shaped by injustice. Responding with compassion is not only to feel, but to act, to repair, to challenge the conditions that make pain heavier for some than for others. The third principle creates space for us to be human in the middle of it all. Acceptance doesn't mean approving harm. It means we don't hurry one another toward meaning or healing. And spiritual growth isn't always about insight. Sometimes it's endurance. Sometimes it's asking for help. And sometimes it's simply telling the truth about how hard it really is. The fourth principle frees us from easy answers. We are not required to explain suffering in order to live faithfully. Our search for truth and meaning allows room for unanswered questions, for ambiguity, for the honest confession, I don't know. The fifth principle calls us to listen deeply and honor lived experience, making room for many voices and many ways of naming what hurts. And finally, the seventh principle reminds us that suffering and care alike ripple through the interdependent web of existence. So does presence, so does love. We are not meant to carry life's hardest moments alone. community becomes the place where we hold one another up. Together, these principles move us away from explaining suffering and toward accompanying it, setting aside why did this happen and asking instead, how will we show up with love, humility, and care now? When we weave together Frankl's call to meaning without justification, Kushner's refusal to blame God or the suffering person, Rohr's resistance to easy answers, Children's invitation to stay present, and our UU values, a different story emerges. Frankl reminds us that meaning is a response. Kushner, that companionship is sacred. Rohr, that mystery is unavoidable. Children, that tenderness, not strength, often carries us. Our UU principles remind us that we do not walk alone. And so we return to the heart of matter, how we choose to meet suffering, with ourselves, with one another, with love. As we leave today, may we release the need to explain suffering, our own or anyone else's. May we trust that meaning lives not in why pain comes, but in how we meet it. May we loosen our grip on easy answers and let mystery be. When suffering comes as it comes to every human heart, may we offer presence instead of certainty, listening instead of fixing, companionship instead of conclusions. May we remember pain is not failure. Grief is not weakness. Tenderness is not something to outgrow. May we learn to stay with ourselves when life breaks open and with one another when the road grows heavy. When meaning feels far away, may love, quiet, stubborn, enduring, be what we offer each other. And if we are hurting, know that pain matters. It is not a test. It is not our fault. And we do not have to carry it alone.
I'd like to invite folks to reflect on Catherine's message. Thanks, Catherine. That was a good one. I'm glad I have a paper copy of it.
Thank you, Catherine. That message just hit me right home with all the grief that I'm feeling right now between my friends and all these people surrounding me that are suffering right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. I thought that was a terrific message, and you just pulled it all together. And I have to say, when my late husband Mike died, that question of not why or how, or it was who will stand with you. And there were so many people in this congregation that knew me at the time, that stood by me, and that made all the difference in the world. And I have to say, Mike came from a very Christian family, and when his relatives tried to comfort me, it was those things that you said, including, you will see him again in heaven. And my first response was to push back, like he's in a better place. All those things came out. And then hopefully catching on soon enough that it was to comfort them, that they wanted to see him again in heaven. And I just could nod. And my first responses was, I don't think so. Because it wasn't what I believed. And so you just let those comments wash over you and know that they need them. But it was my UU friends that were incredibly comforting.
Thank you. I want another paper copy. I'm most grateful for this because I'm an expert at the easy answer. and I've known all along that it totally doesn't work. And it prepares me for what's coming. We just had a phone call from my sister who has been fighting lung cancer for years. And now she's down to one lung, and she's on oxygen 24/7, and she doesn't really feel comfortable about dying just yet. And so all of that is gonna, when she does pass, it's gonna be all those things that you just described. And I'm gonna get good at, I will get good at being present, and I'm gonna do my best to stay away from the easy answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. That was so thoughtful, so beautifully presented, and also your delivery was right on. I appreciate it.
I'd like to invite everyone to please stand to sing a hymn that is going to make everyone feel wonderful. Let It Be a Dance, number 311 in Singing the Living Tradition.
May I have this day?
Told you you'd feel better. Okay. Are you all right, Mary Ann? I can do it. Okay.
I can put out a challenge.
Okay. And we'll read together from our order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.